Actually, I'd actually like to move to our next topic. What's called going off of what you just said there, Antique Legend, about breathing new life into games. So one of the things that
Mm,
I agree, I think it breathes new life into games, of course, is new characters, and especially in the game, one of the games that's really popping right now, Granblue Fantasy Versus, and
hmm
we've had like a few new characters actually. I mean, well, how many? I mean, since March, we've had like 4 or 5 new characters come out. Like, I mean, from the character pack, we had Narmaya, we had Beelzebub, we had Soros, we had Jita, and most recently, we had Zoe. So, we were going back in, I guess, reverse order. We can go from Antique Legend to Crunch Time to Adachi. I want to hear your guys' opinions. However you'd like to, put them out there. Whether about all the characters in general or about each character specifically. How do you feel about the characters that have just come out for Granblue Fantasy Versus?
with the DLC characters, I got this information from Anime Illuminati. He had a good point when he was saying like the game. It started out the characters are pretty simple, easy to learn, but with DLC, they're able to include more difficult characters to make the game, to make the game, keep the game interesting. You just like you were saying, you don't want a
Yeah.
whole game where every character is just simple, every character is easy. So with this DLC, he was saying that they're going to start bringing in characters with a higher learning curve just to balance it out a little more. And I think that that's a good thing for companies to do. You don't want to keep every character. You want to have a few simple, few in the mid range, few in the high range as far as difficulty and learning combo setup. But as far as all the characters, I mean Beelzebub, he was basically the boss character, so that was a given that he was going to come out. I'm not sure if he's as high as people thought. I think people were saying that he's kind of near the bottom, but I think
Really?
I like his moves. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's what a lot of people were saying. But
I don't agree with
I
that.
like his move set and his character design. So I don't know what he's missing, what he would be missing to be considered, towards the bottom. I have. She definitely has a high learning curve to move sets. So she's probably one of the first DLC characters that were non-simple. And then Soros, he's a brawler. People still trying to learn how to really use his skills to the best of their ability to win with him. And of course, Jita, she's Grand's clone, or I call her his sister. So his
Yeah.
sister's in the game, basically just like Grand, but she has the brave move, deadly rave move. So that's pretty cool to watch. And then of course Zoe, she's not simple. She has a lot of crazy setups that she can do, and people are definitely spending a lot of time to figure her out and show different combo routes online and just spreading information about her. She's definitely one of the newer characters that isn't simple. They're just going to continue that trend from here on out. Of course, they're probably going to throw a few simple here and there, but I think the next characters are going to be, you know, to that higher level of difficulty. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris, on what you said about it. I think that the DLCs they've come out with are very good. Like you said, Narmaya, she's very complex, but I love her, stance switches, her uh, basically counter moves she does. She's very complex. I think it's going to take a few more months for people to figure her out and then to really get her down. Beelzebub, I like him. I think he is actually mid to top tier because he can just really keep the range. And I think that also he is going to take a little while to learn because, we have a few people that, we know personally that play Beelzebub and have shown that he is, a viable character and could really, do some things. With Jita, like Chris said, she is her basically grand sister, and she's just very diverse. Her mix-ups are great. She has that deadly ray, which is the most epic move I feel like in the game right now, and very very good character. Zoe, I think she is the most diverse character as far as mix-up setups, full screen SBAs. She is very good. I like playing with her. I think she's going to become one of the most popular characters, and I think she's definitely right now looked at as one of the top 3 or 4 characters in the game, uh, and just very, very good. Soros, I think he's just a brawler right now. I would like to see him get buffed eventually, but I do like his game. Uh, See if people can make him work. But I just love the character diversity, and they seem like they put a lot of time into really making these characters good and coming up with some creativity. And like Chris said, hopefully they do, you know, have these characters be complex and be different as the DLCs come out, because I think Granblue's done a really good job with their whole gameplay and as far as coming out with DLCs and coming out with them right after the game came out, not waiting like a game like Mortal Kombat. They are giving
Mm.
you what you pay for as soon as possible.
Right. Mhm.
Adachi.
All right. Well, from my end, honestly, I mean, I haven't played too much of main of the characters. I'm a filthy Lancelot main, so I'm gonna go ahead and generate
Oh,
something
this
real
guy.
quick on that.
Oh
This
man,
guy.
Uh,
yeah, man.
but honestly, when I mean, it is what it is. It happens. But nah. Honestly, realistically, they've done a great job releasing the characters and the frequency that they have in such a short period of time. Honestly, kind of like they said, I do agree. Narmaya is going to take a little bit longer for people. I feel like there's a lot more tech with her that has not been discovered yet, and I think just over time, it's just going to pick up more and more with her due to the stance changes and all of that. People are going to start finding a floor. Honestly, everyone's going to probably be playing her a lot different from each other. Hopefully, is what I'm hoping to see with her. Sora's, can't really say too much. I haven't looked up too much into him. I did dabble with him very slightly in the training mode. Did enjoy what I see, honestly, and played against one. Very fun character. Kind of what Chris said, very much a brawler and whatnot. So that's always enjoyable to see, seeing those characters. Characters that just kind of go toe to toe, hit for hit most of the time, or just completely take control. Beelzebub, great design, of course, kind of like they said as well. Moveset is great, honestly, has a good mix of being able to close the gap as well as maintain a safe distance and kind of mixed up to different situations that would work out for the player, honestly. But then again, I haven't played against too many of them as well. I haven't seen anything with Zoe yet, honestly, so that's going to be a little bit. Probably going to do some training with her later on today, see what it's like. Jita, Deadly Rave, not much more I can say. They pretty much already said everything that can be said about her. I'm seeing her being picked a lot and whatnot. She's a very solid character from the sounds of it. Great combo links and all that, damage able to be done. Just generally fun to see, especially when people start popping out that Deadly Rave, which honestly the timing on it isn't as bad as it was supposed to be, I guess, or whatever. But nah, very solid, great stuff, 100% on it. So I'm only excited to see what more they can add. Honestly, more of the balancing, whether or not Lancelot gets nerfed or not, or whatever. Honestly, I just want to see,
We can only hope.
the
Yeah.
dodges and whatnot.
Let's all have a wide
Just the dodges and whatnot. I would like to see those kind of play as a bigger reward mechanic rather than kind of like
Oh, right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Universal.
yeah, just
Buffs.
universal balances that. Honestly, just me personally. Then again, like I said, I'm not much of a competitor in that game, so people at the higher levels may disagree. Could just be, I guess, scrub quotes or whatever. But I really don't think people should be punished for calling out a proper dodge or stuff like that, whether it be
Definitely
for
agree
a
with
dodge roll or what's it called,
Mhm.
standing dodge or whatnot. So, but what's it
Mhm.
called?
Spot dodge.
Yeah, spot dodging with the auto correction, like you could roll past them and well, easily get jabbed out and just instantly get linked in. It's like, all right, cool. Then why the hell did I even bother dodging in the first place? Most of the time, I just feel it's more. It just feels like it's more rewarding, I guess, at this point. Just obviously play a strong defense, which nothing wrong with that, but only time will tell.
Mhm.
Those are just some things I'd like to see. I think it would add a little bit more to it, but overall, the whole cast of the game, very solid characters. I'm not one for tier lists. So I'm just excited to see what kind of people do taking, I guess, what are the low tier characters and bringing them up through the ranks and whatnot. But it's a lot
Mhm.
of fun so far.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, actually, like Adachi, I remember you said that you had an issue with the way that Lancelot's. If we're talking about Lancelot's like teleports worked and stuff like that. Could you expand on that?
Okay, so my biggest issue with Lancelot's movement mechanic, you know, the whole dashing and whatnot, is the whole deal of having to start out with obviously a dodge forward because you have to do, well, not a dodge forward, hitting X, it'll send you forward, and then obviously you have to hit X again within the time that it's going to either dash back or either call it for a dash up or whatever, stuff like that. One thing that I enjoy more in fighting games when having the choice and ability to be able to do manual inputs on those so you can control which way you're going to go rather than being forced to having to take the approach first and then having to go back. Like a great example of a character like that would be Izayoi from Blaze Blue, also in Cross Tag whatnot. Her movement options, honestly, that's why she's my favorite character in that game. Honestly, aside from Hazama, just as a personality, what he is, and also just how he plays as well. But no, Izayoi, I love her movements, her kit, everything. She's very movement friendly, and it's just a lot of fun to kind of get those mind games going as you're like, people don't know if you're gonna be either going in at that time or you're still going to be maintaining your distance, dashing between to the medium distance or back again, or just dashing in place. It's just one of those things where, I mean, they can do everything else to Lancelot, but if anything, please just give that fucking option. That's all I want. I will take whatever nerfs come that way. Just give me that at least. Because I feel restricted.
I feel that, man. I feel that. On that same note, I'd actually like to pose another question to Antique Legend and Crunch Time as well. What problems do you guys have? Like, are there any other problems that you guys have with Granblue, like, and with like your specific characters, or perhaps maybe certain mechanics in the game? Other, because I know Adachi was talking about how his problems with the spot dodging and stuff like that, side dodging. Adachi, actually, before we move on, is there anything you'd like to add to that? Any other problems you have with Granblue besides that?
Any other problems?
Yeah.
I just feel the grabs feel janky at times. I'm not sure what it is. Like, sometimes I'll be up close within the same distance as somebody would grab me in and just doesn't connect. And honestly, at times I just can't comprehend, like, what's the difference between what they're doing at the same distance, or like, why the hell is it whiffing when they're crouching but I've been grabbed out, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Could be a big misunderstanding on the game on my part, but I'm just having a hard time understanding just kind of that for the most part.
We have Kicks in chat, and he says some of the character push boxes feel weird. Great example is Soros.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, definitely Soros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much what Kick said. That honestly, honestly, what he said sums it up great. You have to be inside the character model to grab at times, and
Yeah, you have
I
to be
guess
very,
that's what it
very
comes
close.
into. Damn
Yeah.
hitboxes. Fuck. I'm talking about the character hitboxes, not the awesome, pads and whatnot.
Oh yeah, man.
Right.
Let's get that out of the way real quick.
Right.
um,
I guess a problem that I have is like I use a lot of grapplers in various fighting games, and what my issue is specifically with Granblue with La Diva is her rush head slam move
mhm.
and her pile driver move. The motions are similar, so sometimes if I'm trying to do the pile driver move, her headbutt move comes out instead, or vice versa. So I don't like it when there's character has a move set and the moves are on the same, I guess, same direction plane, if that makes sense. And so most of the time you're gonna get either or. I wish it was either more lenient, or like if the pile driver move is always pretty much a 360 motion. If there's another move that's in that same plane, like, just make it a different motion, totally different motion, so that way that moves don't get crossed over. I feel like a lot of games have moves that cross, and some companies they'll address it, which is rare, and it'll be like towards the end of the game or like mid to towards the end of the game. It's like, oh, you're finally addressing this when it should have been addressed, day one. So I hope they get around to addressing moves that cross each other up. So that's pretty much my only issue right now. And of course and the throw range seem like with grapplers, they should have like the longest throw range because that's what they do. They grab and throw people. So if I'm right next to a character and she's just throw whiffing the regular throw and her command grab, that makes no sense. Like give grapplers the throw range that they deserve because that's the only thing they have.
Yeah,
So that's my issue.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting horrible flashbacks of being command grabbed into oblivion, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with that because when you do those moments of what's it called inputs, they start clipping each other. It's a pain.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, like I said, the command grabs. That's my main issue with it is that you have to be super close because the whiff on command grabs is way too high of a rate. I feel like it should just be a little bit longer, like I said, for grapplers especially. Also, another thing is like with Zeta's SSBA, you have to be super close and hit it at an angle that I don't think is humanly possible. It is just really frustrating when you're properly setting up a SSBA and then it totally whiffs and then you get a counter SSBA, from the whoever you're playing. I think that's something that needs to change because certain people's SSBAs are a lot easier to input than other characters, and I think that needs to be balanced a little bit more. And I think that's something that definitely does is kind of like also to decrease the startup of somebody like Soros on his SSBA. That's something that needs to be changed because his is incredibly high. I don't know if there's a math equation and to get his to come out on the time that you want it to. But players like, I feel like Lancelot, shout out to Brian, they get easy SSBAs. Not that you don't have to have any kind of talent, but it's just that you just have to do a lot more certain characters. Like I said, like Soros, like Vasaraga, I think his SBA needs to be, the startup needs to be decreased on that. But certain characters, there's full screen. Other characters, it's not like Zeta. Her SSBA, you have to be just like holding hands in order to hit hers. So yeah,
Right.
just something I think needs to be, balanced out over time. I'm pretty sure that they will. They seem to be pretty good with feedback and doing what people want done.
Let's see. We got some quick comments in chat. Let's see. We're gonna. I'm just gonna catch us up real quick. Let's see. Kick says, "Soros, you literally have to be inside the character model to grab. Meanwhile,
Yep.
Narmaya, you can be a model away and still grab." He also says, Ladiva has godlike buttons in neutral and a great walkback speed. Also says, grapplers in this game have ways to navigate neutral that they don't in other games. It's and I guess in regards to like the SSBA thing, it says that it's not a startup issue. It's more of a pushback plus lack of step forward. Oh, and then we have Tempest.
I don't know about that. Soros players might get really upset about that.
Tempest says they aren't SNK grapplers, but better than most. Let's see. Kix also says Source's SSBA is a raging demon. 0 range on the initial stomp, but the follow-up will whiff a lot. It's like he's also played Soros.
Yeah, with City.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not too. I mean, personally, I'm not too happy with Soars's SSBA that he does from his like
Takes
super
all day
mode.
to come out. Takes all day.
Yeah, because like first off, you got to actually get into that mode in the first place. I mean, it's
Only
cool.
character that has that kind of mode too.
Yeah, it's like it's cool, but sometimes I feel like
The execution of it takes too long.
yeah, it kind of because when he does the move, when he's doing the the actual his actual like form, like his going into his super mode, you can actually hit him while he's doing that. It's not like it's instant. He doesn't really have any invincibility frames while he's going into his super mode. You can actually hit him while he's doing that, and I was kind of like, ugh, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe that's that way by design, but sometimes I feel like, man, it would kind of nice to just be able to go into that super like that, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's what I was
Hmm.
saying. Is that I think Soros needs a little bit, quicker, startup time or less startup time on that because yeah, once he goes into super mode and he whiffs, counter SBA, good game.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
was gonna say like his power up mode should be either easier to combo into instead of
Yep,
just having to pull it out, and then he definitely should have some
it's too predictable.
invincibility frames and either priority because it's an activation move. It's not a necessarily. I don't know if it if it hits when you activate, but I don't think it does. So it's kind of like, why is he at such a great disadvantage when you activate that move at such low health? So it just doesn't make sense, for him to, be designed like that.
let's see. Tempest says, I feel like Kix might be right on that pushback statement. Then Kix also said, of course, I wish they'd flip it around. They should make the Fundoshi mode SBA. Of course, we got my man Adachi. He agrees with that. Says, if they made his SSBA invincible on startup, it'd be a lot more fun. I feel that it's supposed to be that
Yep.
comeback potential robbery monster. Yeah, yeah. I
Hmm.
mean,
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. If you're a
It's like
grappler, you should get that.
it's like X Factor. Like it's X Factor for him almost.
yeah. My
You
only
know.
my only problem is you can't really use that mode unless you're almost dead. So
Yep.
I mean, like you said, it's kind of supposed to be a comeback thing, and you get new extensions on your moves and stuff like that. But it's a little difficult sometimes. It's difficult to get back in there. Because you have to be able to get into that mode. You have to be able to get into that mode without getting hit, and you can still be hit. That means that you got to be far away. Like, I mean, ideally, you can't be right next to him when you're doing it. So then you have to be all the way on the other side of the screen. Ideally, do the power up into the super mode, and now you got to get back in.
Mm.
And then like Kick says, if he could build stacks without taking damage, that'd be great too. Like get auto combo 5U. That's for those of you who don't know. That's like neutral, unique.
Mm.
6 times for a stack. That would be great. It would be. It seems like the only way you can build stacks is you do your unique move, and you have to be hit while you're doing it. Which I mean
Yeah.
wouldn't be so bad, except for the fact that he still takes damage. It's reduced damage, but
Mm.
it's still damage. It puts you
Yeah.
ever
Yeah, yeah.
closer to that threshold. I mean, depending on what character you are, sometimes like if you're like me, you play Lil Wayne, you're kind of hoping to get into that threshold, that 30% threshold at 100%
Yeah.
and 100% super, so you can bring out Big Auntie, aka Yggdrasil. So you're kind of like,
Mhm.
I mean, like I've done it several times where I've been winning a match, and they've kind of like people have been in that 30%, getting close to the 30% range, but not necessarily close enough to do an SSBA. So what I'll do is I'll let myself get hit a bunch of times, and then like get to
Yeah.
the 30%, knock them away from me, throw a whole bunch of garbage on the screen, and then I'll do Yggdrasil. And I'll just be like lightning, floor is lava, lightning, green orb, rocks. But I feel like there's more.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sometimes I feel Lil Wayne is being rewarded a little bit more. I mean, because let's face it, he's not as good as other characters in the game, like as a normal character. So I feel like me and Kix were talking about this a while ago about how they should rebalance Lil Wayne so he's better as a standalone character without having to depend
Mm.
basically
Yeah.
almost lean a lot on his SBA and his SSBA. I mean,
Yeah.
mostly on his
Yeah.
SSBA.
Yeah. He's an all or nothing character right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see. Can you activate on knockdown? It's like questioning because I have been in a cave. Are you talking about the SBA or the SSBA? You're talking about the what you call it, like his like supers, like his power up or whatever. Because I mean, you might be able to do it like I think if you were using Soros and you like did his like what do you call that move? his unique and you knocked them down, you could possibly. This was when Soros was still being discussed. Okay. Yeah. Like it's like if I think if you do like the move and you use his special ability, because if you have it and you press forward and one of the face buttons, he flexes, it knocks him down. I think you can go ahead and just like go ahead and do the move. Maybe I go ahead and go into a super, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think that's like the only way you can get it done. Otherwise, you're kind of in a bind. I think like ideally you either have to be, I guess like he says, like you either have to knock them down, kind of have to do it after knockdown, or you have to you have to wait until wait until you're like halfway across the screen. Oh, we are OCF in chat. What's going on, man?
Hey,
Octavian.
what's up?
What up?
Great work on those videos, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Our boy.
That's funny. That's
Shout
funny.
out to him.
Cause like otherwise, I mean, like cause like I don't feel like he gets too many. I mean, I'm kind of a novice when it comes to frames, but I feel like the only move that he gets a decent amount of plus frames on is the one where he smashes the ground. 5e follow-up is bad because even on counter hit you get an animation, but you get like 300 damage and no combo unless it's counter hit, close proximity, and crouching. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot. It's a whole lot.
Definitely.
Definitely. I would say Soros is he's a cool character, to be sure. He is a cool character, but definitely not ideal right now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with that. He's definitely a cool character, very unique, but definitely needs to be buffed and needs to be kind of balanced out to be more fair as far as getting credit for his inputs. Because I think right now he's a real big whiff character, unfortunately. Because when he whiffs, I mean you're going to get a clear advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs not just buffs, but I think they need to take a look at his moves and kind of change him up. They're gonna have to like change it up, especially his buff installs. That should be just automatic, or at least they need to figure out a way where you can install more for his buff counter move. And then for his power up super, they either need to make it to where he's got advantage, he's plus, or you can actually combo into his power up and then still continue into some other moves instead of just he did it and he can get interrupted or he can get countered, because it just doesn't make sense. So like you were saying, Evan, like you literally have to do it across the screen and then you have to get back in. So it's just kind of counterproductive on his character design, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Real quick, Tempest T.O., thank you for the follow, man.
Yeah, thank you very much for that
thank
follow,
you.
bro.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What else?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really got too much of an opinion on it, really. I mean, I'm not too familiar when it comes to frame data and stuff like that. Honestly, when it comes to my play, so I'm very unga bunga, try to get people break through their defense. Honestly, I can't lie about that, man. That's just the way I've always been.
Unga bunga.
Hey, gotta be honest with y'all. Very unga bunga.
Go for what you know.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's still a point where I do kind of want to learn the whole what's it called, frame data stuff. I have not played the new nerf to Lance yet. What did they do to him, anyways? Honestly, 'cause like I said, I really.
Oh, they didn't do nothing.
No shit. Well, I mean, honestly, the best way I can say for the stuff that I do, honestly, like I could talk to you guys about like Final Fantasy 14 all day, every day, the raid, current meta stuff like that. I got that down packed. But fighting games, man, that's a whole new beast for me. I still got to learn a lot when it comes to that. I mean, I can hold my own in a lot of matches. I can pick stuff up fairly quick, but it's still one of those things that takes time, but still very fun to play.
Yeah.
LiveView has recovery now. The dash. Let's see.
Was that necessary? I don't.
Game is 0 at must.
Was that Was that absolutely necessary? For Gorilla Blade.
You messes with his. Oh shit!
Man, Gorilla Blade has longer startup too. It messes with his like what forward hit confirm into 66H. For those
Which
of
is
you,
that dash?
yeah,
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to look into that.
I got y'all.
I'm gonna have to look
Hold
into
on.
all of that actually.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Got y'all right
Fireball
here.
is no longer a bypass neutral card. Oh, really?
Damn it! Well, there goes my
Really?
whole
I got
strategy.
y'all right here. I got
He
y'all.
actually has to
I
play
got
the
all of it.
game now.
Oh shit, that hurts. Well,
I
guys,
put the
it's been
I
real.
put the notes in the
Oh
chat.
man, y'all act like he's Vasaraga now.
I put the patch notes in the chat
Hey,
for
well,
Lancelot.
He said
you know what?
Vasaraga. Oh man,
I
this
said y'all are
Well-
acting like y'all acting like he's Vasaraga
I was
now.
gonna say it don't matter to me because I'm still gonna support my boy and play him regardless, nerfs or
Yeah,
not.
there you go. There you go. Just because he's not top tier no more.
I also still want to try Vasaraga after seeing some
Well,
of the
you
plays
better
that
you better,
Birdie
you better go,
made.
you
Yeah.
better go to Home Depot first. You
yeah,
better
I'm
go to
telling
Home
you,
Depot.
yo, like I'll tell you, yo, like I played Bergie back when
Now he's
like,
a good player. He's
yeah.
a good Vasaraga player.
Yeah, he's
He's
yeah.
really
Mm.
Yeah, it's fun to. I mean, just generally speaking, it's fun to watch him play the game as
he plays a
Vasaraga.
very defensive base Vasaraga. He's very very good.
Yeah.
At that. He's very good.
Yeah, man. I remember like back when we started playing. Of course, I was already playing Lil Wayne back then, and he was playing Voss. He was playing Voss, and you know, it was really interesting because I mean, when he figured me out, because eventually he did figure me out, because I mean, you can only be you can only do so much scumbaggery before people start to catch on, and
I love that.
and you know, he started using his armor a lot and stuff, and eventually it's just like, oh man, this guy, he's got me. He got me.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's got me. It was really interesting, man. It was really great. Really great seeing him do so well in the last tournament. I'm glad he signed up for this week as well.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a really good player. Yeah, I love his style.
Yeah, like a
Exactly, Tempest.
yeah, exactly. Man,
I mean,
go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
I would say, honestly, that's still the reason why I still play Captain Falcon in Smash Ultimate, even though I could either bust out my Joker or Violet. Love Falcon a lot. Like, I'll even play him against horrible matchups, be like characters that can zone me out and shit, Mega Man, whatnot. I'll still go for it. Doesn't matter to me. I'm still gonna find a way to get in.
Right.
Which I wish more people would stick to the characters they love, even with the nerfs, because you never know. There could be something. I mean, like you said, overcoming that adversity when it comes to learning how to overcome that wall that's in front of you, when you finally do and it all makes sense. It's like a whole. It's like a whole new game to you. Honestly, that's at
Been
least
there
how it
many
feels
times.
for me when I get over and finally break through stuff like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
Okay.